Hi everyone, this is Dr. Tom, and I'm decided to do an overview of the course. Although I know many of you won't watch it, those of you that may have questions about it, especially earlier on when you're first signing on, you may say, okay, I really don't, that's not really what I'm looking for. I might take this course from someone else. So I'm hoping that won't happen, but here goes. I'll try to make this short. Less than 3 to 4 minutes. Every session I'll start with this announcement screen. You'll get an announcement in the mail that talks about the previous session, summarizes it, and then goes on and explains what I expect in the upcoming session. So those of you that like to move ahead, please don't, unless you find something that looks out of ordinary, please don't write me and say, Dr. Tom, I don't understand this assignment in session 9, and we haven't started the course yet, or we're only on session 1. I'm not saying you can't go ahead. That's fine. But I'm going to send out a memo every week that explains all the assignments. So this course can best be summarized by going on to the coursework by week, and you'll see that I have every session outlined here and the objectives that I have for each session. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to go in depth into math, science, and technology, this is not the course for you. It's going to have a strong emphasis on math with just one session on technology and one session on science, and that's inquiry. So I've gotten some complaints. I started teaching this course in the fall of 2016, and in that first course, when of course I have just devised this, someone complained that there wasn't enough math into it. I just go into math very basically, much like reading and the basics of reading. You talk about reading comprehension, you talk about fluency, prosody, etc., etc. Well, in this course, I'm just going to touch on some of the basic concepts that students encounter in their beginning to explore mathematical concepts. The main purpose of my course is to get you to be able to see and to create a lesson plan that engages students in math rather than has them sitting and doing mindless worksheets and repeating procedures that you are trying to teach them. That is not the way to teach math, and it's what turns us all off when some of us, when we started to learn math, that's what got us all off on the wrong track, to think I'm not a math person. We are all math people, and that's something we're going to discover right away. So I'm going to start off talking about attitudes in math and how your attitude about math and whether you like it or not like it is very similar to your attitude about standardized testing. If you don't like math, if you don't like standardized testing, your kids are going to pick up on that. So you'll give subtle messages that they can't help but to hear or see. So we're going to examine your attitude of math in the beginning, and then we're going to talk about the first days of school, which seldom is mentioned in education courses. So I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about building personal relationships and how to start off your first days of school. Then we're going to explore our one session about technology. Each of you is going to investigate some kind of application or website that you can use to make your classroom better, whether it's an assessment. There are great formative assessments out there in apps, iPad apps, or phone apps that you can use. Then we're going to talk about culturally relevant math. There isn't a lot being written about this now, but it really is something that we need to broach with our students, and it kind of ties in with the first session about attitudes, that there are a lot of people that say, my culture just doesn't do math. I'm a white female. We don't do math well. I'm a Asian. We're good at math. So we're going to talk about culturally relevant math, and we're also going to talk about ways that it's not just about your ethnicity, but it's also about where you live. and how you can make math relevant to the community that you live in, and how do we take advantage of cultural and community assets. Then we're going to go into problem solving, which is what we should all be doing to engage our students in mathematics. It should all be centered around problem solving. Then we're going to start in session 6, 7, and 8. We're going to be looking at the basics of mathematics, number operations in number sense, and number readiness and basic math skills. And then we're going to talk about, in the middle of all that, creating a lesson plan. And that is going to be your major project for this semester, is creating a lesson plan. And through all of this, I'm going to show you what assessment for learning looks like. You're going to do a draft, you're going to have exemplars, you're going to hear me describe how to do it, and then you're going to post your lesson plan in a discussion board and get feedback from me and get feedback from your group mates. Then you're going to revise it and you're going to post it again and get more feedback from a different group in session 9. So, you'll actually have 2 or 3 different chances to improve your lesson plan and use the rubric to guide you. So it's an assessment process that I would hope you would all emulate, with exemplars and rubrics and feedback and first and second drafts, etc., etc. So that's going to be the major assignment, and then we're going to have one session on science, and we're going to examine inquiry, which is a topic that can be used for all subjects: math, science, social studies. And my last session session 11 is going to be on formative assessment, and assessment for learning. But I'm looking at changing that because everyone's going to take an assessment course. At least I think you are. So this is something I'm thinking of changing. So if you're taking this course and you see that that's missing, because I'm looking at doing a session on writing in mathematics, which I think is important, but I haven't developed that yet. So that's it. I hope that gives you an overview of what I'm planning on doing in this session, and that you will stay with me.